Hello, friends, and welcome to the DLLS Cowboys Podcast, where we can't say they not doing nothing. The Cowboys are doing all sorts of things. What does it mean? What are we thinking? How are we feeling? How are you feeling? You let us know, and hit the like button while you're here. The show starts meow. Welcome to the day after Here You Go Damn. This is the post-game show of Here You Go Damn. It's El Taco Fuerte. Man, I hope there's no cuss words in there. Said, Here You Go Damn free agency.
Is that a Rangers hat?
2025. What?
Is that a Rangers hat?
Is that a Rangers hat?
Bro, I want one of those hats so bad.
Do you see how expensive they are on eBay?
$1,000?
Yeah. That's
Why
crazy.
Why would you pull that when people are like, you don't understand, that means boobs?
It's offensive.
Great.
It's offensive.
You don't want that to be
It's
your official
offensive.
team hat.
It's also a terrible design.
I'm not bad with the design.
What do you mean you're not bad about the design? No, that's your opinion. You can have it.
If any of y'all have a Tetas hat, I would like it. So, let me have it. Is that offensive? I guess that is. I guess if you were wearing a hat that just said it with the T version of boob, and that was your hat, I guess people would be like,
team
"Yes,
cannot
yes."
have
cannot
boobs.
have a boob hat.
Okay,
Your
team
official
cannot-
team hat.
No, they're terrible.
Your
The
team cannot have a
Angels, the
boob hat.
Astros.
I mean, the Toronto Maple Leafs got weed on their thing.
It's not
basically
boobs.
weed.
It's not boobs.
So anyway, how's everybody doing today? The Cowboys have been doing so many things. They've done so many things. If you're really bored, we had 3 emergency pods yesterday. Every time that they signed or traded for a player, we all just were like, well, I guess we'll hop back on.
Go check those out.
And we had a great time. And we're going to talk about all these things. Hi, my name is Jeff. Next to me is former Cowboys wide receiver Jesse Holley.
Oh, Jesse Holley went 77 yards. It must be a reality show.
Next to him is the greatest beat writer in the history of the Cowboys, Mr. Clarence Hill.
If you want to win, put pop.
Oh, he thought it was coming. He was
wanted to go to
disappointed.
Club
He
Pop
was
Pop.
ready.
The people wanted Club Pop.
He was ready.
False start.
Disappointed. Next to Clarence.
Hey,
Legends drop, Clarence Hill just can't stop. Breaking news, you got out in Club Pop Pop.
And since we're in Club Pop, I want to wish happy birthday to my daughter.
hey.
Happy 24th birthday to my first daughter, Channing Hill.
Bottle service.
We don't do that.
Sparklers.
What about a study? What about a study group?
Not a study
A
group
book
in
club.
it.
Wait, so
Not study group in
Channing's
it.
a chill too.
Channing is a chill.
Channing is a chill.
Mm.
Yes.
I like it.
She could be. What's the female pop? She could be the
Mama.
Mimo.
Mima?
She's 24.
Mima.
She's 24.
Yeah, but some people
not a
get
Mima.
older even
Not
when
a
they're
Mima.
young.
She got an old soul.
And I'm glad she's not making me pop.
Okay.
Fair.
Next, Clarence is the second greatest beat writer in the history of the Cowboys, Mr. Joe Hoyt.
Tell him something, Joe.
By my count, the Cowboys have added 7 outside players in the last couple few. Oh, wait, I don't think I counted. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Javonte Williams, running back.
Yeah, so 8.
Brett just became a
No, shout out
diehard.
to Brett.
Thank you,
Okay,
Brett.
Brett.
Thank you,
Let's
Brett.
go, Brett. Did you know it's only $36 right now? We got the free agent frenzy special going on to be a diehard. All DLLS.com/diehard. $36. Normally it's like $80.
Hit them like buttons.
It's the hookup time.
And
Use the
listen,
QR code.
this is the time of year you really, really, really want to be a diehard. Between all the articles that Joe and Clarence are writing,
Spring training, you get your
spring
Ranger
training
stuff.
happening. Fran just dropped his big board
Yeah.
this morning. We're still doing stuff, the POVs, the Discord, all that kind of stuff. You don't want to miss this chance to be a diehard. $36 is all you can do. The POV and the Discord.
Yeah. the POVs that got me with.
So VOD is a video on demand. We do VOD.
No, but he
POV
did a
is a
POV.
category on websites.
On certain websites. POV is a certain
POV is point of view.
Did I not do a POV?
No, you didn't.
Hold on, time out. Did I not do
POV is on certain websites that are banned in
Bobby,
Texas.
No.
player point of view?
Yes.
Oh.
He did a POV VOD.
Okay.
Player point of view is not POV though.
Because I watched some POV yesterday.
That's PPOV. That's a PP. That's PP.
Are you saying
That's
PP?
PP.
Pop saying PP?
But when you said POV, Jeff and I like, somebody.
No, POV, I thought that's point of view, yes?
Yes, that
Yes,
is what it stands
but
for,
it's
yeah.
used
All
on
right,
certain
so I
sites.
I've done 2 POVs. I've done 2 point of views.
You did a VOD though. We gonna call it.
No,
VOD.
he did a POV VOD.
His point of view video on demand.
Yeah.
But what do we officially call
A
it?
POVOD.
I don't know.
don't
We
know.
officially
I don't
call it
even
a VOD.
Do we call him a VOD?
All I know is when you say
POV?
POV, I think of my own
Well, y'all
actions.
perverts then.
That's
what
what
I'm
I'm
saying. Y'all are supreme perverts because that was not what went through my mind.
Jesse.
POV for me.
To the pure, all thing is pure.
Thank
You and
man.
me.
Like,
You and me.
Listen, when
Y'all
he said,
too,
I
man.
looked at Anyway,
we
when
got
you
POVs on there. Become a
Most
dog.
active Cowboys free agency of all time. And this is where we are. Supposed to be
POVs.
breaking it down, player by player, instant reaction and analysis.
Let's go.
How are you feeling? We're getting ready to draft. The Cowboys are doing a great job.
They're active.
They're doing a great job of getting ready. Joe, don't make that face at me. Everybody, they yell at me for being negative, so I'm gonna be positive. The Cowboys are doing a wonderful job of putting players on the depth chart.
Yep.
And seeing what happens.
They are. Okay. We can feel how we feel about the signing.
Yeah.
And we'll break all that stuff down. But the Cowboys had to bring in players to play football.
No
Now,
doubt.
you may not like the players. You may not feel the players are valuable players. The players might not even be good players. But there were needs. There were holes. There were voids. Whatever. I don't care what Jerry said. There were voids. And so the Cowboys are finding live bodies to put in position to play the game of football. I need 11 on offense. I need 11 on defense. I need 11 on special teams.
Yeah.
And as they were currently constructed towards the end of the year, they didn't have enough dudes to go out there and to play legal football.
Yeah.
No doubt. And it's just frustrating when they just send mixed messages. We don't need free agency to fill voids, and we don't have any needs. And that's what they've done. They fill voids. You know, the linebackers, cornerback, you know, the trade for Kaiir Elam. That's because they had a desperate need for a body at cornerback.
Defensive linemen.
Still do.
They signed 2 linemen or traded for one, two linebackers. They traded for one and signed one because they had a desperate need at linebacker. And so, yeah, they're doing what they're supposed to. They're filling that out. It's, you know, I was making fun of the morning news because Calvin Watkins wrote a column about the Cowboys are going about this the right way.
I saw the headline.
You always make fun of Calvin. I think you hate
I laughed
him.
at the
But
headline.
I'm like, damn the right way. It's like you said yesterday, damn reasonable.
Yeah.
Do something different. You got a 30-year drought. Yes, you're filling out voids, you're filling needs, and you're being, you know, circumspect, and you're doing it the right way, deliberate about the money you're spending and all this stuff.
Selectively aggressive.
Yeah.
All
Do
in.
something wild.
They're also doing the right. They're also doing the right way, the wrong way, frankly. Because yes, you're getting. I don't hate some of these signings. I actually think Kenneth Murray with Matt Eberflus. If you're saying, hey, just go downhill, don't think too much, and use your speed, I don't hate it that much. Kaiir Elam, we'll see. I know that I was talking to someone in Buffalo. There was a big confidence issue that happened there when they changed schemes, and he never really kind of thought he was utilized correctly.
Yeah.
So there's this change of scenery aspect potentially there. I like Solomon Thomas as a work hard, hustled, rotational defensive lineman. Peyton Turner, former first-round pick who has just not been healthy. Maybe here he gets healthy. Maybe here he gets healthy. What I'm saying is I don't hate these things. I just hate the fact that they did it right now. I hate the fact that you cleared cap space to go out and do these things early on, that you extended Osa Odigizua to get a small cap hit in 2025 to not use it, frankly, to not go after someone, to not go get Drake Greenlaw, to do something a little bit reckless potentially. These are the things I have issue with the Cowboys. I don't hate the players. Same thing with Brian Schottenheimer. I didn't hate the ultimate end result there, but the process to get to these things deserves to be scrutinized.
Yeah. And Tim, go back to Tim who said that they signed 2 Timothy Arnold.
2 starting linebackers, 2 depth D linemen.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
What they're doing is not bad. Again, line one of the offseason, line one of every offseason, to make the team better, to make the team a Super Bowl contender, to kill that 30-year drought. Have the Cowboys taken steps in that direction? That's the question. No, these are not bad. These are decent signings when you're trying to fill out the roster. But have they closed the gap on Washington and Philadelphia with what they've done? No.
No, I agree with that.
Are they even better than last year?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at some positions.
They're absolutely not better.
They're
than
not
last
better
year.
than they were last year.
Well,
Yeah,
the hurt version,
currently
sure.
today.
The hurt version. They're better than when everybody was hurt.
Let's
played 10 quarters last
let's look at linebacker. Are these 2 guys better than Eric Kendricks?
No.
Right. And you didn't, you signed these guys. They're not better than Eric Kendricks.
No. Kaiir Elam's not better than Trayvon Diggs, but I mean, he's still on the team.
He may be better than Mario Rurier.
Yeah, we don't know about Andrew Booth in terms of if he's better than him.
He's better than Andrew Booth.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. We still don't know.
Like Peyton Turner's
still
not.
don't know,
Peyton
genuinely.
Turner's not better than Chauncey Golston.
No.
Solomon Thomas is probably a better fit as an upfield 3 technique, but he's not a better player than maybe he is. Whoever the D tackles, Carlos Watkins.
I think he's better than Carlos Watkins.
Maybe, I guess, maybe.
But this is what we're talking
And
about.
Javonte
too, right?
Williams is not better than Rico Dowdle.
But he is better than Zeke.
He's better than Zeke. He's definitively worse than Rico. Like, I'm not going to debate people on that because it's just like you can, by however you would like to measure it, Rico's better than Javonte Williams. And I think that's the one where I think they made a mistake. All of this stuff is fine. Like, I'm not mad at the Cowboys. They're filling up their depth chart and they're getting ready to draft. They're not doing enough or making the splashes or signing the good enough players to be trying to get better. They are adequately preparing their roster to draft, which is part of this. That's fine. I think the Javonte one is just a straight up mistake where Rico overshot his own market. The Cowboys thought that he was going to get his market maybe, and so they just dove in the bargain bin to the very bottom to a guy that nobody was calling and signed him immediately. And then a day or two later, it turned out you could have had a better player for the same price. And that sucks.
The immediate is the key word there, too. The fact that they did it immediately, that way you didn't give time for the market to develop to tell you that Rico Dowdle actually is worth 2.75 base salary with a chance to have incentives
But
like he was in Carolina.
did anybody talk to anybody?
I don't know.
Like, did anybody talk? Now,
I mean, it's a fair question.
because
Like, they probably heard from Rico's people, like, yeah, we're looking at 6 a year. And they were like, oh, we're not going to do that. And they just moved
That's
on.
what Rico people said at the Combine,
Right.
6 a year.
Yeah.
That's what they were looking for.
And they got it.
But Rico's people didn't come back to the Cowboys after a little while to go, hey, what you guys got? Because we're not hearing 6 right now.
Well, there wasn't enough time, I don't think.
There's more than enough time.
No, I think that they still want to see things out.
Well, I mean, I think it's with all the guys. I mean, who did they compete with within of these guys? I mean, they just went and signed guys. I mean, was there a competition with Sam? Nobody was trying to give Sanborn a starting job. His own team didn't even tender him an exclusive rights free agent.
Now,
You can say what the Peyton.
Sam Burns coming over. Like this happens historically. It's a way that the way the NFL works. And most teams work this way.
Follow your coach.
Follow my coach.
Yeah.
No.
Right. If I'm a defensive coordinator, I was a head coach, Eberflus in Chicago. I now need to bring guys in who can run my system. I know that I can go to OTAs with a starting middle linebacker who can call the plays for me, who can get guys lined up, and I can actually function from a point of middle linebacker with a guy like Sanborn. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to be the savior, but that's like him coming over and joining Eberflus again. That's just the comfort level. It's the same thing with Eric Kendricks and Zim. It's always bring guys in who know my stuff, who speak my language, so that they can also be the voice of, not the voice of reason, but the voice in the locker room for that defensive side of saying, hey, now this is what coach really meant. When we were in Chicago, he wants you to drop here. Hey, we want you to cover here. And now it's the players are hearing it from the coach, and they have another resource in the locker room that they can go to get a full explanation of what this new defense for them will be.
No, I was just looking at all the guys. Sanborn, whether Williams, whether it's Robert Jones. I mean, none of those guys were being sought after on the market. And they all got minimum salaries.
And even if they were, you could find pretty similar replacements.
And you could have got those guys in the second week of free agency or the third or fourth day. The fact that you go out on the first day and go get them, What are we doing?
It makes me think. Well, I'll tell you what I think. Why I think that happened. I'll tell you why I think that happened. We'll keep talking about the Cowboys and their free agency and their trades and all of those things next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast.
I'm going to get right to this. It's my guys at Shady Rays. And one of the things that I love about Shady Rays, if you get a pair of Shady Rays glasses and you lose them, because technically, I'm not going to say that I lost mine. I'm going to say right now, don't know where they're at. But I'm going to look a few places.
Sound lost.
I'm just saying.
Sound lost.
I'm not saying they're lost. They're lost if I can't ever find them again.
The spin is
But
crazy.
there's a couple spots that I haven't looked at yet. But in the event that they are lost, Shady Rays say, Jess, just give us a call. We'll send you a new pair for free.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you get when you deal with Shady Rays. Head on over to shadyrays.com and use this promo code DLLS and get 35% off a pair of polarized glasses. Now, when I find mine, if they are not broken, but if they are broken, I can send them back too. And Shady Rays go, hey, bro, we'll send you another pair for free. So if they're lost, they're stolen, they're broken, you just don't like them, they'll get you a new pair. Head over to shadyrays.com right now. Use the promo code DLLS and get 35% off a pair of polarized sunglasses today.
Shout out to our friends at Game Time. Maybe you want to go to a game here in the near future. Why don't you go ahead and download that Game Time app? I mean, you're seeing on the screen, if you're watching on YouTube, what appears to be a football stadium, but maybe you like to go to a basketball game. I bet you them things are pretty affordable right now. You know, local basketball club probably have pretty affordable tickets there. And you get $20 off if you download the Game Time app and your first purchase, you use the promo code DLLS. And that's for whatever sporting event you may want to go to, maybe a concert. You know, whatever event is coming to your town, you just have that Game Time app ready. It's a great place to do last-minute tickets. You can always see the view from your seat. Game Time, it's our favorite app. They get you all squared away. They got all-in pricing right there. You toggle that on, and you won't catch the surprise fees at checkout. You'll know exactly what you're going to pay. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code DLLS for $20 off your first purchase. What time is it?
Game time. I use Game Time to go to the AAC game.
That is a great job. That is a good company, man. That's a good company.
$3 tickets to watch my daughter cheer for the Rice at the AAC championship game yesterday.
Did they win?
They lost.
Who they lose to?
South Florida.
Oh, South Florida's got a good program.
USF. Are they the Bowls?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Somebody went there.
There's
an NFL player that went to South Florida.
Jason Pierre-Paul.
I feel like I watched a running back from there too.
They've had some dudes.
Can I try a theory on you guys?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Rico is Jag. You can find 30 of them. That's fine. But if Rico's a Jag, Javante's whatever's underneath the Jag. But no one, that doesn't matter. Hey, I hope that, 3 years removed from the ACL, that he'll magically become a much more explosive player. That's what we're banking on, right? That third year off the ACL.
Players come out of North Carolina? I'm just asking.
Whoa.
Coming out of North Carolina, look, Javonte Williams was a stud as a rookie. He was a stud.
Julius Peppers, Lawrence Taylor,
He was good.
That's the list.
and Jesse Holly.
Okay, I was just checking.
I do think there's something happening in the running back market that I support.
Okay, let's hear this.
I think the NFL is looking at the running back market, and the Eagles. Like, we got a really awesome team, and we can find a way to make this work. And there's a legit badass on the market. You get paid. We're set up for this. Whew, that's gonna help us a lot. Derrick Henry, same thing. All of these dudes that run for 1,000 yards because they got 250 carries, like, the league is looking at them like, whatever, you're all the same. I think that's how the Cowboys are looking at Rico and Javonte Williams, and that's how the league is looking at pretty much every veteran free agent. They're like, you're all the same.
Yeah.
If it ain't Saquon or what Nick Chubb was before his leg got obliterated, or Christian McCaffrey, like, if you ain't up here, you're all the same. We're just going to draft a guy. And the market is going to be hello and nothing. I don't think it's going to be like in most positions, it's like you got your $35 million receivers, your 30, your 25, your 20. Running back is going to be, sure, there are some $17 million players and there's a bunch of fours.
But I think there needs to be a little bit of context to that. Because I am on Team Kavanaugh when it comes to, like, I don't want to draft running back really high. But I think that the context to certain things are the top of the top tier running backs that you're talking about. Those are finishing pieces to really good football teams.
Would you say cherries?
Oh my God.
Cherry. Could be.
Could be. But I caution some of the lesser teams, when you take the approach of you're all the same, that lets me know that your football team isn't quite the finished product, isn't quite a product that's going to really compete for championships. And unless you have a absolute loaded roster, which the teams, the name that you brought up about those running backs do, or you have the very small list of elite quarterbacks, and that list is 2, maybe 3 deep, but 2 deep.
Pat, Josh, Lamar, Joe.
I don't even really want to put Joe in that mix anymore. Joe's not in that mix to me anymore.
For top quarterbacks?
For elite.
Oh, I'm put Joe Burrow there.
He's not in that quarterback. He's not.
He single-handedly helped them get to the playoffs.
My man lost 4 games where he scored over 30 last year. My man was balling.
Joe Burrow is not elite?
He's not in the elite with those guys.
Yes, he is.
He's in the next. I said that he's not. I can have that opinion. I feel that he's not.
You can. Now you have to take it back.
I don't have to take it back.
Take it back.
No, you can have it.
Take it back.
My point is that if you don't have those guys and you don't have a full team, everyone else in between, you might not want to look at that situation as just another guy. Like, you might want to start putting those necessary pieces in there or complete your team, because you're just not enough.
Yeah, because I mean, and that's the thing. Like, the running back can't, and it's not fair. This is not totally fair to them, and I'm always unfair to them, so I shouldn't care. But I'm going to throw in the caveat. It's true of every position. You can't do it alone. Yeah. But the running back is the most dependent on everything in front of him and around him. Yeah. He's the most dependent. And so you can't do it alone. Like, Saquon can't do what he did in Philadelphia and New York. Can't do it. Derrick Henry was good in Tennessee.
He was great in Tennessee. Don't do that. Yeah. Don't do that.
Okay, great.
Don't do that.
That's fine.
Okay,
no. You're nitpicking to nitpick. I'll say this. Derrick Henry was a Hall of Famer, outstanding, amazing in Tennessee.
Yes, he was.
Tennessee, Derrick Henry can't hold Baltimore, Derrick Henry's jock, and he's not even in his prime anymore.
What are you talking about?
Because the surroundings were better. Yards per carry, success rate, I don't care how you measure it. He was better. He was better in Baltimore.
No, he wasn't. He just had a better team around him. That's not. I mean, what are we doing here?
How do you measure? We can't. The problem is that you were almost 60.
No, the problem is that
he had 2,000 yards somewhere else. And I'm saying he got another yard per carry. His success rate went up by 10%.
But that doesn't mean he was a better player.
No.
That means he had better production.
That was my point. Thank you.
But that doesn't mean he was a better player.
He was the best. Derrick Henry was in Baltimore without having to be a better player because of Baltimore.
I mean, it's semantics, though. But I mean, because he was a better player, runner, everything, as a younger player in Tennessee. Yes, his numbers are different because he got better players around him, but he was not a better football player in Baltimore just because his numbers were better.
Right. That's what I'm saying, is that is a dependent position.
They're all dependent.
When you go the running back, it changes for you.
But
when
he
Lamar's
was very dominant. I mean,
he's really good.
I mean,
he's really good.
He was more than really good. He's
really good.
Two-time rushing champ, Hall of Fame, throwing folks out the club. He was more than just really good.
He was really good, and then he got better.
Jeff,
without getting better.
He didn't get better.
I'm glad you brought this up, though, because you brought this idea that, hey, the NFL's looking at guys, either you're elite or you're not, and that's a separation, and that's cool, right? It's the same thing with the draft, which makes elite running backs worth the pick, right?
Kind of, because the problem there is,
I'm not pushing the agenda at all.
No. You want Genty, and that's fine. And I think there's a chance that Ashton Genty is a bit, again, Saquon Barkley as a prospect versus Ashton Genty as a prospect. Like, I'm not interested in debating it. I'm saying they're both outstanding prospects.
I would take Saquon.
If you go to the New York Giants for 3 or 4 years, you ain't changing crap for them.
Yeah.
If you go to a team with an O-line and a good offense, you might change the world for them. It's all going back to the same thing, I think. And I think that, to me, the draft, the positional value is very, very important. What opens up the idea to me of taking Genty early is not feeling great about any of the other prospects at more important positions.
Yeah.
Because in a perfect world, what we're doing is we're finding the best players we can, and they're cost controlled.
Yeah.
If you find a great quarterback on a rookie deal, you're saving $50 million a year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If Ashton Genty is the best running back in football, you're saving like $12 million a year. And it's just, how are you building the best roster where you have the best values and you can now add whatever you need to add. In a perfect world,
Great point.
your early picks are pass rushers, wide receivers, and quarterbacks.
Right.
Because if I had 3 first-round picks and I nail a number 1 receiver, a franchise quarterback, and a pass rusher, I got $130 million worth of players. If I get a tight end, a running back, and a run-stopping defensive tackle, I got $40 million worth of players. But I do think Genty's an awesome prospect.
Right.
He might be gone.
And in the ideal world, if those players are there, you take them.
Right.
But if Genty's there and those players aren't there, you have to take Genty.
Yeah, now
And
we
if
can do that.
King Henry's a free agent and sitting at your house, you take him.
but
You
see,
call him. You
that's-
make the damn call. I don't care what you have around him. You make the damn call.
I just think differently.
Come on, man.
Wait, you think differently not to call?
I think
No,
you can't make that.
Henry. I'm talking about like,
Okay, I
let's
got
do
you.
the Cowboys for an example. Like if they get there and Genty's there, right? Like you get Genty, and if you pick Genty, will he be the best running back on your team?
Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
Will he make your team better? Yes.
He makes the position better, but I don't think he's the piece that will take your team to where it needs to go.
Okay, that's 2 different conversations.
But that's
will
the
he make
conversation
your
I'm
team
having.
better?
Yes, he will make your team better because he's better than what you have.
Yes.
But he's a pick that everything that you talk so glowingly about and you want to see prosper and flourish in the next level won't be able to happen in that situation.
If you choose lesser players, and that's what we're talking about. We're talking about lesser players.
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking about the same level. We're talking about lesser players at a more important position, but lesser players nonetheless.
Correct.
Lesser players don't necessarily get you where you want to go either.
Right.
So I don't pass on great players. I don't pass on talent. You just want to. The goal still should be putting the best players on your team. Now, if all things are equal, and then you go into positional value, but you're not getting to a title purposely choosing lesser players.
I'm not saying lesser players,
But that's what he's talking about.
I'm talking about players that fit your system the best or where you're at the best. Instead of just saying, oh yeah, he's a really good player, stick him here, and it's like, okay, now what? He's a really good, he's Barry Sanders, right? He's a really good player on a horribly built football team. Will you get the highlights? Sure. Will it look cute? Sure. What does it get you?
Jesse does not want Barry Sanders on the Cowboys because they made him retire early, even though he may be the best running back in the history of football.
You're not allowed to say that. Emmett's the best. Everybody knows that.
I said maybe.
Okay.
I said maybe.
I'm saying
You invoked the Barry Sanders comparison.
I'm just telling you, like, you can have a good product in a bad situation.
No doubt. I still want Barry on my team.
I think Ashton Jeanty is this year's Brock Bowers, where it's like positional value from an economic standpoint doesn't make sense. Tight end doesn't make sense in the first round either. He's incredible. He's the elite of the elite at his position group, and there's some other decent ones behind him. You take him, he's fantastic. He's your, one of the best players at the position, offensive rookie of the year candidate.
And you got the number 1 overall pick.
And then
Or
the
damn near.
Raiders are still bad. But I think this is the thing you got to wonder is like, okay, one, the Cowboys are further ahead than the Raiders were last year. And 2, this is not a one-year thing. And I think running back's the tough part because how long is the longevity for a running back's career and how they're effective? It's not that long per se. But, if you're taking Ashton Jeanty now, best player available, moving, and then you take another step as a team, and then next year you're able to kind of keep adding to it. Maybe Ashton Jeanty is not the best player for you right now in terms of positional value and what you might need now. But 3 years from now, he could be the cherry on top when you actually have the cake around him. So I think kind of a Brock Bowers actually is almost like a similar interesting idea.
And I guess the thing is, according to our draft expert, there's only a handful of special players in this draft.
Probably 2. Yeah, probably 2.
It's getting lower.
Well, Mason Graham's a really good player,
Okay.
but I don't know. I don't know that that's special.
According to him, Jeanty is one of these special players in this draft. And that's the only reason to say compared to lesser players. Based on what they're saying, is that he is special, has a chance to be special. The guys are lower than that. And when you take that into account, I got to take the best player available.
Or you could demand that your front office sign the best people they can or trade for the best people they can, build a really good offensive line, and then go ahead and put that running back there and see what happens. But they're just going to develop the guys they like.
I think they are.
Coming up next on the DLLS Cowboys podcast, we have a segment prepared.
Yeah, it was supposed to be 2.
Hold on, I'll figure it out.
Micah, right?
Yes.
Micah Parsons. Sorry.
It's supposed to be two.
Sorry. Everybody, welcome the new leader of the Dallas Cowboys next on the DLLS Cowboys Podcast.
March Madness is right around the corner. Football season will be here before you know it. Just keep getting your man cave right. Look at our set right here. You see all of the toss it to me right here because they can't see you. I got it. Little, what do you call these? Figurines?
Foco.
Fat heads,
Yeah,
Foco
call
heads.
them whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's a bobblehead.
The bobblehead. No, this was
It don't bobble?
No.
It's a Foco Pop.
It's a Foco Pop, helmets like this, all types of things that you need for your game room, for your film room, for your man cave, for the ladies, for your she set. Look at us behind us. All the figurines back there, they're brought to you by Foco. And right now, Foco is giving you 10% off anything that you want on their site using the promo code DLLS. They have overalls, they have friendship bracelets, they have all type of things that you need for the best sports fan around. If you want to be in the know, go to Foco. I just made that up.
That was good.
That
was good.
You're a poet, you didn't know it.
If you want to be in the know, go to Foco. Use the promo code DLS to get 10% off.
That was good.
Poet, you didn't know it.
Shout out to our friends at Sleeper. I need to figure out when the next Laker game is so I can say more than on all the Luka things. My boy's going ham right now. I know that hurts, though. Sleeper is the best fantasy league platform out there, but also, of course, what we're talking about is daily fantasy and making yo picks. And so what you do is maybe there's a player you love, maybe there's a player you hate, or maybe it's just a matchup that you're feeling real good about. And you say, hey, I think this guy's going to have more points, rebounds, assists, whatever, than he's projected in football, maybe more rushing yards, will score more than half a touchdown, all the different things that you can pick on Sleeper. The more picks that you combine, the more you can win, all the way up to 100 times your money. So get in there, download the Sleeper app, and new users can download that app. Use the code DLLS Boys, and you get $55 in free interest when you place a $5 contest. Apply it to any contest, doesn't have to be the first one. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. All right, this topic, I feel like Clarence is targeting Jesse.
Can't target me.
This is nothing personal with Jesse.
Can't target me. My zen is good. I'm drinking this lemon water. I'm praying. I'm reading the word.
I got a chakra book
You know what I mean?
the other day.
You told us.
Yeah.
You turned in all your other books and got 36 cents.
I traded
book.
in about $1,300 worth of books. I got $41 in credit for it.
Sound like
And
GameStop.
I bought a chakra book and a book on dragons. So they got 100 books and I got 2. But yeah, I got a chakra book. But Micah Parsons, he fired off a X, a Zeet, a post.
A post.
He fired off a post.
Posted on X.
He fired off a post on X.
While in Bali.
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 Dubai.
Bali, proprietary. All the same thing.
Dubai.
His post says, "It's my time," with a lion head.
Yes.
What does he mean, Clarence?
King of the jungle. I'm the king of the jungle. I'm that dude now. I mean,
It's my time.
it's not a coincidence that this tweet happened shortly after DeMarcus Lawrence was announced that he was signing a 3-year, $42 million deal with the Seattle Seahawks, including an $18 million guarantee. DeMarcus Lawrence takes no L's at the bank. Okay, he always gets paid. Okay, just know that.
Point. That's a good point.
Just know that he always gets paid. But Micah Parsons has been the best player on this team, best player on this defense since he showed up. But he was not the big dog in the locker room. That was DeMarcus Lawrence. Marcus Lawrence carried the biggest weight. He was the biggest dog in the locker room. Much as Micah talked about being a leader, he could not be that with DeMarcus Lawrence. And he's talked about changing the culture and doing different things. He could not do that with DeMarcus Lawrence because DeMarcus Lawrence carried the biggest voice, biggest weight, especially on defense. And then you have the other guys, Jordan Lewis and guys like that. The road is clear. Micah Parsons climbed to the top of the mountain and said, I'm the captain now. I'm the king now.
I am the captain now.
I am the captain now.
I
Look at me.
am the king of this jungle on this Cowboys defense. Something he's wanted, whether you think he deserved it or not. There's no checking him because he's going to be emboldened even more when the Cowboys pay him.
Jesse, how excited are you that the leadership now flows instead of through Tank and Jordan Lewis, that it flows through Micah?
Why?
Oh, just, from your POV. I was just wondering.
Is it good for the Cowboys that Micah Parsons is the unquestioned and unchecked biggest voice on defense. And really one of the biggest voices in the locker room, because you look at it, Dak Prescott is now the longest tenured player.
Yeah, which is wild.
Okay, because of Zach Martin, Jordan Lewis, and DeMarcus Lawrence being gone. But you look at the players on that team, and you think Micah Parsons only been here 5 years. The only people that have been here longer is Trevon Diggs, 1 year longer. Trevon Diggs and CeeDee Lamb and Donovan Wilson.
And CJ Goodwin.
Goodwin's got to be.
Stop it.
Got to be
He
CJ
is.
Goodwin.
Stop.
He is.
Stop.
Got a voice.
It's a
Stop,
fact. He's
stop.
literally longer.
I'm talking about every down players, regular players.
He's
That-
on the
that-
leadership council. He's on the leadership council.
and anyway,
Clarence just quitting.
Leader of
He's
the
just
special
powering
teams,
down.
just,
Okay, all right.
but just from I mean, it's crazy. The Cowboys clearly are getting younger, but he's one of the most veteran voices in this locker room. Not only the fact that he's also the best player on the team, talent-wise.
He is. I'm going back and forth in my head. Is he the best player or is CD the
there's
best
no
player?
question he's the best
I think it's
Mike is probably the best
There's
player.
no
think
question he's the best player.
It's 1A, 1B, I
Yeah.
think, though.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Nothing.
So no thoughts, Jesse?
No.
One
you
year,
no thoughts?
1 year removed from your boy Sean Shreve saying Cowboys.
I haven't
People
talked to
don't
Sean
like-
Shreve- I haven't talked to Sean Shreve since the year
People
20.
don't like
Don't
Micah,
know.
and they're tired of his act, and they're going to trade him,
Mhm.
which came from people who not named Jones. Okay, and the Jones family again are getting ready to pay him ungodly amounts of money, most likely the highest paid defender.
Yeah, here in a
if not
couple
the
of
highest
years,
paid
yeah.
non-quarterback.
Yeah, here in a couple of years, they're going to pay him.
Whenever they pay him, it's happening. You know, but yeah, a year ago, this offseason was all about people getting tired of Micah's act and his podcast and everything else. Now the road is clear. There's nobody else in the locker room to check him.
All right, let me ask you this question.
Oh, here he goes.
There it is.
As someone who is in the know
Mhm.
and an insider,
Yep.
you're saying that unequivocally 100% there's not a single person in the Cowboys organization that does not feel the way that Sean was talking about Micah.
No, I'm not saying that because I can say this. I
And
wholeheartedly.
I'm talking about the people that matter. I ain't talking about this anybody.
I don't think the people that matter feel that way. I don't think
Okay.
that Jerry and Steven feel that way.
Okay.
And Will feel that way. People who do the day-to-day, people who he has to work with every day, that's a different story. But I would say this, and I know it's a different time and different titles. I can guarantee there were people in the locker room, people in the organization who didn't like the way Michael Irvin handled his business.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I could see that.
Off the field,
Yeah.
and away from the Cowboys. They didn't like how Michael Irvin handled his business.
Yeah, mostly felonies and stuff.
All things.
Whatever the reason, whatever
Yeah,
the
yeah,
business is,
yeah.
they didn't like how Michael Irvin moved all the time.
Yeah.
Okay? They weren't Jerry Jones. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, there are people, who deal with the Cowboys and players on a day-to-day basis who are tired of Michael's act. There's no question about that. There's some media people tired of Michael's act.
I just look at
They
me.
don't count.
I hope that Micah takes on this leadership role
Yeah.
and flourishes in it for the betterment of him and this football team. He's absolutely right. It's his time.
It is.
There is nothing standing in the way. So, but also know that with leadership comes a ton of responsibility.
Yes.
And so you don't get to pick and choose when you want to be leader. You don't get to talk about he's the lion. You don't get to pick and choose when you are leading the pack. If you are the pride leader, you are the pride leader 100% of the time. Good, bad, or indifferent. So he has to understand and know that if it's your time, and if that's what you're talking about, that it is 100% your time.
Yes.
So when things are going good, cool. Stand on the podium, speak glowingly. If things aren't going good, can't no comment. You can't turn away from that. You can't do all that other stuff that you're talking about.
Is he going to be there when Jordan Lewis would be there for the media when nobody else was?
It's not.
Yeah,
The
that's
media-
not-
we'll
like,
see
that's
about
not
that.
not that
leader.
big.
We'll see about
And
He
most
showed up a lot
times,
last year,
he
though.
showed up a lot. And that means show up for OTAs. That
I was
means
gonna
show up
say
for
that.
minicamp. That means be there for the young guys. Be a resource for the young guys.
What if you haven't been paid yet?
Huh?
What if you haven't been
And
paid
that's the
yet?
question. And the Cowboys need to help him be that leader, help him move into the role by taking care of his business and getting it done.
Yeah.
You know, that's part of, they have to work together because the Cowboys themselves are emboldening him by paying him. So if you're going to, and you also are doing it by removing voices like DeMarcus Lawrence and Jordan Lewis. You're purposely removing people from the locker room. Okay. And so you're basically handing it over to Micah. That's an organizational decision. Okay. So help him do that. Yes, he needs to do his part, but you need to do your part by getting him paid so he can be there and be that leader that you want him to be.
Yeah.
Again, is he going to be Mufasa or is he going to be Scar?
That was a good line.
Oh, yeah.
Jesse, let me ask you this question though, because I think one thing that we always just say, like, oh yeah, this guy could be a leader. Oh, this guy's a leader. This guy is now the leader. When there's a transfer of power of leadership in a locker room, especially a long-standing one like the Cowboys have had, what is that process like for the rest of the locker? I don't know if you experienced that personally, where it's like, hey, we had this dude, he was the alpha male, he was gone, this guy came in, and now he's the dude. Like, what can that do for a locker room, frankly, for players? And like, what is that transference of power like?
We talk about culture all the time. It's a pivotal moment. This is a place where you have a chance to now truly be the voice. And now you can take that culture in an extremely positive way, or you can pull it down. Like that's the thing about leadership. I learned this a long time ago. Like leadership, it's things like, and I remember my coach told me this in college. He said, the way that you practice is how we practice.
Yeah.
He said, if you come out here, Jesse, and you're complaining and you're being about every single thing that we're doing, guess what? The rest of them will do it too. And yeah, you might be talented enough to do it halfway and still get it accomplished. But what you've now done is you've shown others that they can do it halfway and get away with it as well. And they're not as talented as you. And so now you brought the entire group down. And so it's things like that. So when you transfer the power, I remember every locker room that I've been in I've been in the veteran locker room. When I was in Cincinnati, you had Carson Palmer, you know, those guys. When I was with the Cowboys, you had Jason Witten and DeMarcus Ware and Tony Romo and that group of guys, right? And then when I was with New England, of course, you know what that is in New England. But I remember when I was covering the team, when kind of the transfer of power, when kind of Dez was kind of the voice, right? And how that kind of, you know, how kind of.
And I wouldn't call him a leader.
I wouldn't call him a leader either.
Yeah.
But there was a transfer of power, and his voice became the biggest voice in the locker room. And I don't know if that necessarily always translates to success,
Right.
Because leadership just isn't. I can talk the loudest, right? Leadership isn't just I'm the best player. It is a collection of things that you have to be able to put together. Are you practicing? Are you watching film? Are you the guy that are holding us accountable? When you hold me accountable, and that's where kind of Micah and DeMarcus Lawrence kind of got into their little leadership tiff a little bit, because DeMarcus, he was like, hey, you telling us to do certain things,
Right.
homie, you ain't doing it.
Right.
So be careful about selling other folks that may be a little bit lesser than you about doing certain things, because you're more talented than them. You're not doing the things either.
Right.
So you can't, you know, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing. So the transfer of power, it has the ability to go either way. It's about, and I hope that Micah is maturing, has matured to a point now where he's willing to put in the necessary steps, because he does have a voice.
Right.
And if he does everything that is supposed to be done in that leadership role, it can be the culture change that you've been looking for in Dallas during this little drought.
Little drought.
Right?
And you're right about that, because let's be honest, DeMarcus Lawrence wasn't the leader he is now when he started out.
No.
He had issues, immaturity, suspension, a lot of things he did. He grew into that.
Right.
And so you can grow into that. And, you know, I brought up Michael Irvin, and you talk about the things you do. Well, Michael Irvin may have had some issues off the field, but on the field, in the locker room, first there, last to leave, work the hardest, run the hardest, do all those things. So he brought those things. There are things you can do.
Eyes bloodshot.
Bloodshot, and will run all day.
But I will say
it took
this.
no time off in practice.
I will say this. There is, and Clarence, you've been in locker rooms for a very long time.
Yeah.
There is a very distinct line that is drawn about what you do, like off the field, unless it's costing us.
Yes.
And what you do in the locker room. A lot of guys, they like, listen, man, you gonna drink, you gonna have a couple baby mamas, you gonna do your thing. Cool. Is it affecting what we do in this locker room? Because your ability to show up and do what we need to do affects my ability to do what I need to do. And ultimately, we want to be able to do what we have to do and have the success of winning football games.
And ultimately, during this little drought, we've had a whole lot of different leaders. Ain't none of them got it done.
Nope.
Well, that's because you've actually had one leader.
Yeah.
You're talking about Jerry.
Yes.
I'm just talking about in the locker room. From the Jason, we've had great leaders. We had a lot of great leaders who did the right way.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Sean Lee's. Okay, see. Say that.
Don't do that.
Say it with your chest. Say
I've
with
said
your
it. I've said it before. Don't
What did you say?
Go to commercial.
Attitude reflect leadership, Captain. Coming up next, where the Cowboys are at, where they're going. Is there somebody that you hope that they still get something done with? Let's keep going. Cowboys football next on the DLLS Cowboys Podcast. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, shout out. And in conversations that have nothing whatsoever to do with the quarterback, shout out to those of you in the chat that still find a way to get your aggression out on Dak. You know?
Boy.
Because I would hate for you to carry that around during the day. So I like that you get that out in the chat, and then you can be in a good headspace today.
I love T. Foster. Jesse Holley comes from the college football juggernaut, North Carolina.
Oh.
It is a juggernaut. I don't care what you say.
Are they
players in the
college football?
Yeah,
Ryan
but
Switzer.
what does that have to do with anything?
Omarion Hampton,
Juggernaut.
Devontae Williams, Jesse
He's being
Holley,
sarcastic.
Julius Peppers,
Hakeem Nicks,
Dre Bly.
What
What are you saying?
Greg
like that
Ellis.
for?
Man, not like
Which college football team did you
Gonzaga
play
college
for?
football.
I'm just kidding. I'm just having a good time with people. I love everyone. Excited to be a diehard, though. It's the free agency frenzy, which is the best deal we will ever have. Maybe. I couldn't say it definitively.
It's an incredible deal.
There may be like tomorrow. Not tomorrow, but there may be one day.
But right now. Right now, this is the best. This is the best one we had right now.
Fran just put out his draft board for the diehards. You can see that. You get content behind the scenes and the best information, scoops for all your DFW teams. If you are a DFW sports fan, you need to sign up to be a diehard. Get up in our Discord server. You get all these things. You get a free T-shirt when you sign up to be a diehard. You get that from our merch store, and we got really cool merch.
Dre Bly. I forgot about him.
Who brought up Dre Bly?
Somebody in the chat.
Oh, cool.
You said it first.
Oh, did
I
you say
brought up
it?
Dre Bly.
My bad.
You non-listening?
I was
You guys
talking
remember
to
Dre
Jeff.
Bly?
I'm sorry. I apologize. Like the Fawn. I apologize.
I accept your
You remember the
apology.
Fawns? You know the Fawns?
Oh, yeah, of course.
I apologize.
I remember phones. Sign up to be a diehard or else, which of course is not a threat. And so yeah, that's the hookup. The hookup is right now. You need to take advantage of our free agency frenzy pricing.
He wants to know if Fawns was going to say by the bell.
No, it was like Saved by the Bell, right?
Happy days.
yeah.
I was about to really mess up and say good times.
What? No,
that was not going to work out.
Happy days, good times, same genre, same
Was that the
premise.
same
right?
show, different color? Because we did have same show, different color in a lot of scenarios. Like you had Family Matters and Full House.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same show, different color.
Yeah.
We had Living Single and Friends.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah,
same
yeah.
thing.
Same thing.
This is live. Who was there?
Yes.
This is live, yeah.
Yeah,
Hit
you
the
think,
like button.
Do you think that we would record this and air it like we have had today's show? Like if we had time to process what we had done and be like, what do you guys think we should put up? You think it would be
POV?
PPPOV.
You think it would be,
POV?
yeah, you think it would be the POV situation? This show is going off the rails.
He
which
said,
rarely
radio,
happens.
put Turtle Ninja up. Can I say Ninja?
Yes.
Turtle Ninjas.
Yes, just as long as you say slot corner.
Can we play Turtle Ninjas right there? You see him?
The one that starts with a typo is what Clarence wants.
Radio is dying. I'm here listening to forever until you guys start doing this, whatever he said.
I won't go back. No Motolo.
No Motolo. Thank you, Turtle Ninja.
We do support you turning on and leaving on our show. We think that that's a great idea.
Well, if they keep making free agent signings, you're going to have to leave it on.
I can't tell if this is really live. I need the pop theme.
There you go.
Club Hop Hop, where legends drop.
Oh, no. Club Pop Pop's down.
Oh,
It is
Oh, no,
playing.
we're not
y'all
live.
here.
We just can't.
Oh, there it is.
Where legends drop. Clarence Hill just can't stop. Breaking news, you gotta hop in Club Hop Hop.
Minus 100 points from Gryffindor. Thanks, Jeff. I am not a Gryffindor, I will have you know.
Okay, I'm just.
I'm a
Jason
Ravenclaw.
said he better get that carrying card.
I'm a Ravenclaw. No, not Slytherin.
I'm a Hufflepuff.
You are a Hufflepuff.
I'm a good vibes.
I think Clarence is a Hufflepuff. I think all three of you might be a Hufflepuff.
What the hell is a Hufflepuff?
You're a Slytherin cat. You're a Slytherin. Yeah.
Wait, can we get what the hell is a Hufflepuff as a drop?
I'm with you.
Jesse.
I'm with you. What the hell is a Hufflepuff?
What the hell is a Hufflepuff?
Yeah, what are we talking about?
I'm going to talk to the Cowboys for a second. Dearest Cowboys, I appreciate your activity in getting yourselves prepared for the way you're supposed to be prepared so that you don't feel like you have to do something in an NFL draft. I think your first 3 picks in an NFL draft are very, very important. In theory, they should be the building blocks of what you are doing. You should be able to find the guys that play the right spots, have the right talent level, that are the building blocks for what you build around. Please see CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons, Tyler Smith, etc. Right? That's you're supposed to be set up to do that. But also as a team with enough holes that is chasing after a couple of different teams in the division, you still have, 40-something, $50 million in cap space?
Yep.
Don't be afraid to trade a pick for a better player. Don't be afraid to look at what's left in free agency and say, sure, Cooper Kupp is going to cost us $1 million or $2 million more than we would like to pay him on a spreadsheet. When we say, what do you think Cooper Kupp is worth? And we're like, we think he would be worth this. Oh, he's asking for $3 million more than that. Well, that sounds like a bad deal to us. We're not going to do it. You might have to sign a bad deal or two.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, it's the cost of doing business. When you look at your roster and you say, where do we need to be better? Can we be better? Okay. We're not, free agency is not where you're going to win the deal when you're signing the good players. And that's okay.
Yes.
You don't want to give, like, Seattle gave Tank $18 million a year. People don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But if he's healthy, he makes your football team better. And I just don't know how much you can say of that about Solomon Thomas, Rob Jones, Peyton Turner, Jack Sanborn, Kenneth Murray, Kaiir, Elam, Javonte Williams. They serve a purpose, and I'm not mad at any of these signings. I wish you had known that you could have had Rico for the same price that you got Javonte. I wish you had known that. That would be nice. I think adding 2 linebackers to the mix of a room that needed people added to the mix, and they might be better than some of the guys you have, that's good.
If you're going to pay Murray $7 million, why not go after C.J. Mosley? He got cut yesterday.
Or Dre Greenlaw, or who? Like, I'm with you. If you know that spot is important, and maybe it's because, and I'm gonna do a little Recky Specky here. I'm gonna go a little Recky Specky.
Do it.
Maybe it's because, first of all, the Cowboys stick with what they thought of people in a draft, I think, longer than anyone in football. I couldn't imagine that anyone else has the same track record of chasing after former first rounders half a decade later. Like, everyone that they trade for is a former top 50 pick.
Yeah.
Everybody. It's what they do. And it's like, yeah, remember we really liked. And I'm like, well, I'll take the 3 to 5 years of NFL evidence over what we thought he could be 3 to 5 years ago. And they will chase after that. But I think once they think they've got a player, they very intentionally are not going to block that. So if you were to sign, let's say, C.J. Mosley to a multi-year deal, bam, that's our linebacker. He's going to play there. I think where Kenneth Murray fits is we give up next to nothing. We have the cap space to absorb his salary, and we think he might be able to do some of the things that DeMarvion Overshown's going to do when he gets back.
Yeah.
So they could just view that as that's an Overshown bridge, and like they're just plugging. They're not upgrading. They're plugging until people get back, and that's fine. That's part of it.
Yeah.
We got to do the other part. We got to do the other. Cooper Kupp makes your football team better.
Yep.
Go get him.
Jeff, scared money don't make money, and it also don't win championships.
Rasul Douglas makes your team better.
Yeah.
I'm just naming, and it's not a great free agency class. Asante Samuel Jr. starts for you in the slot right now.
Yeah.
People are going to get tired of hearing this. Tyron Smith makes your team better.
I love it.
Zadarius Smith makes your team better.
Yeah.
Let's go. Thank you for knowing that you had depth chart issues at so many spots.
We have no voids.
And putting names into the voids.
Yeah.
There are people there now. Now let's try to get better.
And they could have done this later.
We
have a roster. Now let's go get better.
Yeah.
And you still got money to spend because you haven't spent anything.
You spent almost nothing.
You've been in the coin purse.
Yeah.
About that coin purse?
Yeah.
You've been in your seat cushions. That ashtray.
I mean, Dre Greenlaw, for example, like that's a guy who's going to get $11.6 million per year, I think, in Denver, right? The guy you ended up getting, the 2 guys you end up getting combined would probably be about, $9 million a year in terms of a cap hit if Kenneth Murray makes the team.
Yeah, and some of these guys might not even make the team.
Yeah. So I mean,
a lot of their money isn't guaranteed.
So it's like, okay, so you didn't go to that extra length when you had the capability to do so. Like, do you feel better about that? Like, do you feel better that you don't have Dre Greenlaw, but you have these two guys and a little bit more money? I personally wouldn't. I think Dre Greenlaw would have been a tone setter. We talk about leadership. That's a guy that would have set the tone on defense. He's an impact player. Yeah, he's coming off injuries, but I think that's a guy that, in terms of high-end potential, would have been fantastic here.
Yeah.
But you didn't want to go there financially. So, hey, if you're going to finish third place in negotiations, you might finish third place in the division.
I think that would be a pretty safe bet at this point. And like somebody just said who they thought would be starting at receiver to start the season, like that it would be CD, Mingo, and Turpin, which I don't agree with. I think it would be Tolbert, not Mingo. And he's like, that scares me. And I think you can do that at a lot of positions with the Cowboys right now.
You're secondary right now?
And you would be starting with Kaiir, Elam, who Buffalo absolutely didn't want on the field, Duron Bland, and Kalen Carson, who you didn't want on the field. Yeah. And so it scares me. I am hopeful that there are names on the roster who last year you maybe didn't want on the field that are incredibly young players that can get better and help your football team. I'm hopeful that you get some of that. But Jerry himself told us at the end of the year, like, we got way out over our skis just assuming everybody that we drafted and all of these young players were going to take these steps. But currently, that's exactly what they're doing. You are counting on Sam Williams coming back from injury and being good, Marshawn Nealon coming along and being a better player, Cooper Beebe taking steps, Brock Hoffman versus Robert Jones being good enough, Tyler Guyton taking steps and being a capable left tackle, Kalen Carson being able to be one of your starting cornerbacks. You are counting on Marist Leofau being a good NFL starter. Like, you are counting on just hope of progression.
Hopium.
For 10 guys? 8 to 10 guys?
Yeah.
And it's not a plan for winning at football. So thank you for mostly filling up your roster. Now let's go upgrade it.
Hope is not a plan.
No. It's not a good plan.
And questions are sketch.
Let's hit them super chats before we get out of here.
Oh, yeah, super chats. I'm sorry. I need super chats if we have some. Let's see. Sign Asante Samuel Jr., Mekhi Becton, a wide receiver to then draft. And the thing is like, that sounds unrealistic because we're used to the Cowboys. You could do all those things easily.
Today.
Right. You could sign Asante Samuel Jr., Mekhi Becton, a wide receiver, and have $20 million left to spend.
Yeah.
Like, you could do all of those things, and you can't be averse to all these. Ike, this is inappropriate. JJ is a contingency.
No.
Jesse, you know what to do.
No.
That's not.
No.
Oh, it took me
No.
2 seconds.
Clarence, do you know how we end the show?
Yeah.
And what Jesse says?
Yeah.
It took me a second. It's like,
No, that's good. That's good.
Wow.
No.
wow.
Jamie or Jaime, the way it looks right now, we might actually be worse than last year. Thoughts on Kupp or any other wide receiver addition? I like it, and I think that there's a chance that you're picking a wide receiver in the first round, maybe second round, maybe third round. But again, you'd hate to be forced to.
Yeah.
You'd hate to be forced to. So yeah, get yourself better. Nesto, is this the fight episode? And can I make picks on sleeper for Jesse?
More than or less than 3 punches landed by Clarence.
Listen.
Yeah.
We were fighting.
I'm
You called
not
me
a
60?
fighter.
We were. I said
did call you-
almost 60.
You called me
I
60.
said almost 60.
Sir.
I think we might have to do the receipts. I think you said 60.
I said almost.
I think you did with
Yeah.
see, this is the problem.
I think
You're
you said
60. I think you did call
I
it.
You
I
did.
think
You
you
did.
did.
I
Yeah,
think
you
you
did.
All I'm saying
did.
is if you get in a sports fight
You did black out. And
with
you got
someone
real
who,
red.
if you get in a sports fight with somebody 20 years older than you, they're going to rely on different stats than you do. That's all I was saying.
But you didn't say that though.
That's not what
I said that louder.
You said problem is
I said it a little louder.
you're 60.
Yeah.
But I don't give
With
a
the red
stat.
face. You had red face too. You were
Yeah.
like yelling it.
I saw a vein pop.
I watched the game.
Well,
saw
the
a vein
hard part,
pop.
the hard part about getting into it with Clarence is
It better be
Clarence
hard.
just wants to disagree.
That's
So
not-
he was actually making my points over and
No.
over again really loud, like he was arguing with me, and
No.
it was weird.
I was not.
Let's get to the rest of the super chat before we go.
We need to draft guys with a C
Principalities.
on their
It's about
chest.
principalities.
They are. They're signing what seems to be the
Principality.
high character leader type of guys. So they're going to walk in, and
Does
Mike
that
is going to
win?
tell them what to do, and they're going to be like, "What?
Does that win football
They
games?
are signing. That is a factor.
Does that win football games?
No, but they're signing them.
No, but I already told them to sign better players. So now we're just going to look for other stuff."
They got culture, guys.
Advances in the super chat. Jesse will disown UNC football after the email thing.
What happened to the
What
email
happened to
thing?
emails? Y'all got some
Oh, no.
emails?
I don't know.
Oh, no. I
Belichick.
don't know.
We got some Belichick stuff.
No, I
no.
think he's going back to them classes way back in the day.
Don't know nothing about those.
I think Jesse went to class. I think you went to class.
I did.
Yep.
What was your favorite class?
We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Black history.
Remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through. Be cool to everybody. We love
Eliminate the
you.
contingencies.
But not in
Eliminate
that
the
way.
contingencies.
We all silly like the mayor.